Hello, welcome. I'm Betsy Patterson. I'm president of the League of Women Voters of Ventura County, and I'm joined by a few of my colleagues in the League, and we're going to talk about the upcoming election. I'd like to introduce them right now. Pat Essick.
Hi.
Maddie Park. Teresa Camarillo.
Hello.
And Jane Spiller.
Hi.
A group of us met with Mark Lunn, who is the Ventura County Clerk Registrar, and his election office staff to find out what to expect in this upcoming November election. Due to COVID-19, the California legislature has mandated that the election will be a vote-by-mail election statewide. So Pat, can you tell us a little bit about what vote-by-mail is?
Sure. It's not new. Over 60% of the voters in the last election voted by mail. But for people who are not used to it, every single person who's a registered voter in California is scheduled to get their ballot in the mail. They'll begin sending them out on October 5th. What that means is what they will get in the mail is an envelope that looks like this. It's from our clerk recorder, Elections Division, and it says on the front, vote by mail official ballot. And inside will be your actual ballot that you can mark. And then when you're done marking your ballot and you're ready to send it in, then this is the envelope you're going to return your ballot in. And it's going to look just like this. It says on the front, official ballot return envelope. When you vote, you need to sign the back of the envelope. And it shows you there where the X is, where you sign your signature, and then below it, you put the date that you signed it, you print your name, and below that, you print your registration home address. If you're not turning in your ballot yourself, or you're not mailing it yourself, but you give it to somebody else to mail or return, they're supposed to put their name up at the top of the envelope, and then they're supposed to sign it, and below it, they're supposed to say what their relationship is to you. They give you some suggestions. It says mail your ballot no later than Tuesday before the election, but we would like you to encourage you to mail your ballot as soon as you have completed it.
Well, Pat, I think that it's a great idea to vote by mail and we're able to vote in the comfort of our home, take some time to look at the issues. And I think I heard you say October 5th is when the ballots will go out. So They'll be looking for those shortly after.
Yes, in fact, if you haven't received it by the 15th of October, you can contact the County Office of Elections and ask them when it will arrive or why you haven't received it.
Okay, so are there any other options other than putting the ballot in the mail? Maddie, could you address that?
Turning it in by mail is the easiest because it means any mailbox anywhere is essentially a drop box for your ballot. You can mail it in through the U.S. Postal Service, but we will also have in our county drop boxes. If you have any concerns about the Postal Service, you can go directly to one of these drop boxes. Yeah, so here's one of the permanent drop boxes. There's currently 13 permanent drop boxes. They're mostly at government type centers, and you can put your ballot in one of these drop boxes. And during the election cycle, after the ballots are mailed, these will be emptied every day by the election office. And so these will go directly to the election office. There's also temporary drop boxes that are going to be added during this period. And these temporary ones will be located inside, wherever they decide are good locations. And we're going to end up with a total of 31 drop boxes throughout Ventura County where you can put your ballot. And then in addition to being able to mail or put your ballot in a drop box, there's also going to be voter centers, which is a big change this year because in the past we've always had polling site and you're assigned to a particular polling site. But this year we're going to have voter centers. There's going to be 47 of them throughout the county, and they'll be located based on population and accessibility. Any registered voter within Ventura County can go to one of those voter centers and actually vote in person. Or you can take your ballot there and drop it off there from 10 in the morning till 6 in the evening. That'll be Saturday through Monday before the election. And then on actual election day, the voter centers will be open from 7 till 8.
I've heard that you can track your ballot. Is that right?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. The Secretary of State has a link for Where's My Ballot. When you put your ballot in the mail or into a drop box, you can find out what the status is of your ballot, whether it's been received. And in fact, you can even find out, has your ballot been mailed to you?
That should go a long ways towards some people worrying about voter fraud. Is that a concern in this election? Do we have to worry about that?
Voter fraud is something that we've been hearing a lot about in the news and all, but in fact, there have been multiple studies with large volumes of ballots that have shown that really there is not much in the way of voter fraud. Probably the largest study that was done was between 2000 and 2014, and they looked at over 1 billion ballots, and out of 1 billion ballots, they found 31 ballots that could represent voter impersonation, which is basically what voter fraud is. It's somebody trying to vote for somebody that they're not. Voter impersonation is difficult to do, not very efficient, and really would not affect the election. Okay, so does anybody have any questions?
When will they start counting?
Well, actually, the ballots, as they come in, they will be processed, which means they'll be looked at to validate the signatures and that the voter is registered. But they'll be staged to be counted at 8 o'clock on election day. So no actual counting of the ballots will happen until the end of voting on election day. And then, after election day, there's still 17 days that they can accept ballots that were put in the mail by election day. So there will still be ballots trickling in, and they will be counted as they come in. And the election will actually be finally certified on the 5th of December. So the very, very, very final count won't be until December 5th. We can't expect to have the final tallies in until many days later.
Great. Any other points anybody would like to make?
Well, I would like to mention that I know there are many folks who really have always enjoyed going to the polling centers. And we are here today to give you some reasons why that is not going to be such the best idea this year. Although there will be 47 polling centers where you can go for assistance in voting if you are vision impaired or hearing impaired perhaps, or you can certainly take a spoiled ballot, something that you've made a mistake on at home, and you can take it into the voting center and turn it in and get a fresh ballot and complete your voting there. But actually this year, in response to the public health guidelines, as a result of our COVID-19 virus, we are encouraging everyone to take advantage of the vote by mail and get it either into the drop box or the mailbox, or if you will, take it to the voting center.
In the past, we had 200 polling places for each election. And this year we're down to only 47 vote centers. So there's a good reason to try to vote from the safe and healthy place of your home versus walking into a voting center if you can help it.
I'm going to share a screen that shows some websites that you can go to for information about voting. You can also find this on our website at lwvventuracounty.org. And with that, I'd like to say thank you, and please be a voter. And if you would like to get a mask that encourages your friends and family to vote, you can order those through our website also. Thank you very much.